Good afternoon, friends. Today we are in the top pasture over here by one of the cattle sheds. And we're starting to get, or we have got some good thawing today of the snow. I did not measure it myself. We got, some people said 8 inches and some people said 11 inches. So this calf is not our newest calf, but this is the calf that was born the evening that it started snowing. So that would be Thursday. And it's been in the shed here ever since. So thankfully, Mama, this cow right here, had her baby in the shed. So it's doing fine. It's nursed. And it's still nursing, and it seems like it's doing just fine. Now, we had one born Friday, and that was the white cow with horns. Uh-oh, she don't like me being this close to her baby. The white cow with horns that we were afraid was going to have hers, and we were concerned about that. So Jeremy got the cow up under the shed there at the barn, and she did not have problems, but the calf is not doing as well as this calf here. So we are watching to see the calf at the barn if it's nursing, and we have fed the calf supplemental colostrum a couple of times, twice, to be sure that the calf has gotten its colostrum. There's Sugar. She's the partially blind cow. So the colostrum is very important for the antibodies for the calf and for its overall health. And it has to get that within 12 to 24 hours to get good absorption of it. So we did give twice. We gave the colostrum supplement to the calf at the barn. So I have not looked at it yet. My schedule has been different about feeding cows because after I hurt my shoulder, Jeremy has been doing all the shoveling of the feed and the checking of the cattle. The shoulder and arm is better. If I raise it too high, the muscle still pops. The orthopedic doctor said that it was a stretched bicep muscle, and that he put a steroid shot in the shoulder, and that it would probably be okay. So it's a lot better than it was. You just don't raise it that high, and that's the problem with shoveling the feed, because I'm a short person and the hopper is pretty tall. So I can shovel with the other arm, but you have to guide the shovel into the hopper. So anyway, I'm thankful that we did not lose power, and we don't have any cattle, don't seem to have any cattle that have slipped and fallen on the ice or anything. Everyone seems to be doing okay here. We'll go check the bottom pasture later and see how they're doing. I hope that you all were safe and warm during this snow event. Today's lesson is from John, the 2nd chapter, the 11th verse. So I'm sure most of you have looked through a newspaper before. A newspaper has reports of good news, bad news, sports stories, weather stories, and more. It's a great way to keep up with what's going on around the world. A Bible is a lot like a newspaper. It gives us reports from moments in history and tells stories of things that happened a long time ago. So, today's story's from the Gospel of John. And it talks gospel, the word gospel actually means good news. So we'll be reading an article from the Daily Galilean or perhaps the Jerusalem Times. Listen to this headline. Wedding guest turns water into wine. That sounds interesting. Let's read the story. On Tuesday, a woman named Mary was in Cana to attend a wedding. A large number of guests, including her son, who was a man named Jesus, also attended the wedding. The guests at the wedding were reportedly having a good time until the host ran out of wine. When told about the problem, Jesus at first seemed unwilling to help to do anything, but after some encouragement from his mother, he finally agreed to help. Eyewitnesses at the wedding reported that Jesus noticed several large water jars nearby and instructed some servants to fill them with water. After the jars had been filled with water, he told them to dump some of the water out of the jars and take it to the man in charge of serving the wine. When the wine steward tasted the water, he discovered that it had been turned into wine. The wedding guests were amazed at the turn of events and said that the wine was the best they had ever tasted. As a result of this miraculous event, many people are following Jesus everywhere he goes, and many believe that he might be the long-awaited Messiah. Well, that made a pretty good news story, didn't it? Do you know what's really great about this story? Just as Jesus performed the miracle by changing water into wine at the wedding celebration more than 2,000 years ago, he's still working miracles in the hearts of people today. If you let him, he will work a miracle for you. Let us have a prayer before we finish our message. Dear Jesus, worker of miracles, work a miracle in us today. Amen. So as you can see, the cattle had plenty of hay put out. Jeremy put out extra, and he even unrolled some there for them to lay on. And they were here close to the shed so that they could get under the shed during the snow. And it seems like that everybody has made it just fine. Here's Mr. Bull over here, our newest bull. I'm sure he would have rather me have brought him some feed, but we will come back in a little bit and bring him some feed. So thank you for joining me today. I hope that you have a good week, and I hope you'll do something nice for someone so that they might see Jesus in you.